Have you ever felt a strange heaviness in your home, moments of tension, sleepless nights, or unexplained unease? My dear brothers and sisters, sometimes what we need is not just physical cleaning, but spiritual cleansing. Tonight, I'll share a powerful reminder inspired by Mufti Menk, a simple Sunnah-based way to purify your home using salt and a blessed herb, while strengthening your faith in Allah's protection. This is not superstition. It's a reminder of how remembrance of Allah can remove all negativity and fill your home with peace, light, and divine blessings. Stay with me till the end. 1. Protection from evil. Protection from evil is something every believer desires: peace in the home, safety for loved ones, and relief from unseen harm. Islam teaches us that true protection doesn't come from physical objects, charms, or rituals, but solely from Allah. Every evil that exists, whether visible or hidden, can only be repelled through the remembrance and mercy of the Almighty. When a believer strengthens their faith, guards their prayers, and keeps their heart connected to Allah through Quran and Dua, no evil can truly harm them. It's essential to understand that fear of evil should never overpower our trust in Allah's power. The Prophet ﷺ taught that reciting verses like Ayatul Kursi, the last two verses of Surah Al-Baqarah, and the Muawwidat Surah Al-Falaq and An-Nas offer divine protection from all harm. These reminders keep the believer spiritually shielded, calm, and confident that Allah is sufficient as a protector. So when we seek to cleanse our homes or lives from negativity, our focus must remain on faith, remembrance, and reliance upon Allah, for it is He alone who grants protection, peace, and light that no darkness can overcome. 2. Mufti Menk's reminder. Mufti Menk often reminds us that true spirituality lies not in rituals, but in the sincerity of our hearts. When we seek protection or blessings, our intention must be to draw nearer to Allah, not to depend on worldly materials. He emphasizes that acts like reciting Qur'anic verses, using natural elements such as salt or herbs, or cleansing our homes are only means. The real power lies in faith and prayer. Without a heart connected to Allah, even the most sacred act loses its meaning. He beautifully explains that when a believer remembers Allah, every corner of the home is filled with light and tranquility. Evil cannot remain where Allah's name is mentioned. Mufti Menk encourages Muslims to purify their intentions, strengthen their relationship with the Quran, and rely on Allah's mercy rather than superstition or fear. His message calls us to transform our homes into spaces of dhikr, remembrance, gratitude, and trust. When we start our actions with Bismillah, and maintain a heart that constantly remembers Allah, we create a shield of peace and protection around us, one that no evil can penetrate. 3. Use of salt and herbs. In many cultures, salt and natural herbs are viewed as symbols of purity and cleansing, but in Islam, their true value lies in their practical and spiritual benefits rather than superstition. Salt has long been used for purification and preserving goodness, while herbs like black seed, Nigella sativa, oregano, and olive leaves have recognized healing properties mentioned in prophetic traditions. When these natural elements are used with the intention of cleanliness and remembrance of Allah, they can help create a peaceful, purified environment. The act of mixing salt with herbs should not be seen as a magical ritual, but as a physical reminder of spiritual purification. While preparing it, reciting verses of the Quran, such as Surah Al-Baqarah or Ayatul Kursi, helps fill the home with divine remembrance. The fragrance of herbs and the simplicity of salt serve as a reminder that Allah has placed blessings in the natural world around us. By using these elements with sincere faith, Muslims can strengthen their sense of calm, gratitude, and awareness of Allah's presence. It's an act of humility, recognizing that all healing and protection come only from the Creator, not the creation. 4. Spiritual practice. A true spiritual practice in Islam is not about external rituals, but about intentional connection with Allah. When a believer performs any act, whether reciting Quran, making dua, or cleansing their home, it becomes meaningful only when done with sincerity and remembrance. The Prophet ﷺ taught us that certain verses of the Quran carry immense spiritual power, such as Surah Al-Baqarah, Ayatul Kursi, and the Muawwidat Surah Al-Falaq and An-Nas. Reciting these verses regularly purifies not only the home but also the heart, creating a barrier against negativity and unseen harm. Incorporating such recitations into daily life transforms an ordinary home into a space of peace and barakah, blessing. When mixing salt with herbs, for example, one can softly recite these verses and make dua for protection and tranquility. The goal isn't the act itself, but the remembrance of Allah during it. The believer acknowledges that every action, even the smallest, can become an act of worship when done with ikhlas, sincerity. This consistent remembrance keeps one spiritually grounded, reminding us that protection, peace, and purity are gifts from Allah, bestowed upon those who seek Him with humility, patience, and unwavering faith. 5. Practical Sunnah-based action. Islam beautifully connects spiritual belief with practical action. The Prophet ﷺ encouraged Muslims to maintain cleanliness, recite Quran in their homes, and begin every task with Bismillah. These actions, though simple, carry profound spiritual meaning. When a believer sprinkles a mixture of salt and herbs around the home while remembering Allah, it becomes an act of renewal and dedication, a way of affirming that their household belongs to Allah alone. The Sunnah emphasizes maintaining a pure environment, both physically and spiritually. Just as we clean our homes from dust and impurities, we should cleanse them from negative influences through dhikr, recitation, and sincere dua. Walking through each room while reciting verses or making dua for peace invites divine blessings into every corner. It is not the ingredients or motions that hold power, but the intention and remembrance behind them. By practicing these small acts with faith, we cultivate habits of mindfulness, gratitude, and trust. They remind us that every moment can be transformed into worship when performed for Allah's sake. Such Sunnah-inspired actions keep the heart soft, the home peaceful, and the soul constantly connected to the one who grants all protection. 6. Core message. The core message of this reminder is simple yet powerful: only Allah grants protection and peace. No material, object, or ritual can bring benefit or ward off harm unless Allah wills it. True safety lies in keeping the heart firm in faith, relying completely on the Creator, and seeking His help through dua and good deeds. When a believer's trust rests in Allah, they rise above fear, superstition, and anxiety. Their strength flows from certainty that Allah is Al-Hafiz, the ultimate protector. Every act of remembrance, every verse recited, and every sincere prayer draws a veil of light between the believer and harm. Faith transforms ordinary actions into spiritual shields. It reminds us that evil cannot enter a home filled with Quran, patience, and gratitude. This understanding helps Muslims live with calm hearts, knowing that Allah's mercy surrounds them even in hardship. The believer's focus should always be on nurturing this connection, through prayer, Quran, kindness, and remembrance. When faith becomes the foundation of life, Allah removes darkness, replaces fear with serenity, and blesses the home with lasting tranquility and protection. My dear brothers and sisters, remember, peace and protection come only from Allah. Keep your heart connected to Him through dua and remembrance, and your home will always shine with His light. If this reminder touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Profound Deen for more inspiring Islamic content. Let's end with a beautiful prayer. May Allah fill our homes with peace and mercy. Comment, Ameen, if you believe in this heartfelt dua.